Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando, that's Corey, and today we are doing 1997's Gang Related. So this movie was requested on Patreon by one of our Patreoners, Frank. And Frank, this is your first soiree into the this is the first movie. He's got a bunch of them. I don't know which ones he's requested. But this is the first one we've done by Frank. So Frank the Tank.
TFF. The fuck, Frank.
But if you want to join us on Patreon, download the app, go to the website, look for Kiss the Reviews. We got free and paid subscriptions. We got all kinds of cool shit there. So check us out on Patreon, and let's get into the cast of 1997's Gang Related.
Finger guns.
This film stars Jim Belushi as Detective Frank Divinci, Tupac Shakur as Detective Rodriguez, Lela Rochon as Cynthia Webb, Dennis Quaid as Joe Doe, and James Earl Jones as Arthur Baylor. But let's get into this one. So this movie opens with shots in the strip club and then to a motel room where detectives Divinci and Rodriguez are arguing while waiting on Kool Moe Dee apparently to show up and make this drug deal. And he shows up with Cynthia Webb, who we find out is banging Jim Belushi in this movie. And after this deal is made, Kool Moe Dee gets shot in a drive-by by Rodriguez and Divinci, and they stop, take the drugs, and they take off. And apparently this sets up their whole thing. And this is what they've been doing for quite some time, is basically robbing and killing drug dealers.
One, it's kind of a brilliant idea.
Not gonna lie. That's why I say the premise of this movie is fantastic.
Yeah, you just wrote the two dumbest fucking human beings on the planet to try and pull it off.
Yes.
So one, there's no way they came up with this idea. There's no fucking way.
If you said this in 2025, these two guys would have chat GPT'd it to figure out how to do it. We need an idea to make money.
I have levels of criminality, and it's like, if you couldn't pull off what 25, and you were probably 48 at the time, Corey and Armando could do, yeah, it's not a good plan. Like, you're kind of a bad criminal. Like, this is something we would have came up with. Like, dude, you buy one bag of fucking Coke, you sell it, and then you shoot the fucking guy, take your bag back, and then you sell it again and shoot the fucking guy. And they're drug dealers, so you know the cops don't care. It's fucking brilliant.
Yes.
I am mad we didn't think of this. Like,
here's the problem with our plan. Neither one of us would have made it through the academy.
Oh, we wouldn't have been cops. There's no fucking way.
You were correct.
No, you couldn't have passed the drug test. So, but
we'd have been like Will Smith in Men in Black. We just shot the poor little black girl in the Catholic schoolgirl outfit, walking down the street when all
trying to justify it all.
Yeah.
But Rodriguez,
which actually, come to think of it, would have made us really good cops. We could have been chief of police.
Exactly. But Rodriguez is then confronted by Vic. So we see that Rodriguez has like this gambling problem, and he's racked up some gambling debts. So like he needs the money. And then Rodriguez and Divinci are called into the captain's office, where they find out from Richard Sims from the DEA, played by Gary Cole, by the way. He explains that Kool Moe Dee was a DEA agent, and they shot an undercover DEA agent.
And Lumberg's ready to fuck him.
Dude, Lumberg is pissed, and he's ready to take action. And you know, this is like dun dun dun. This is where like everything gets into the thick of it. And this is how you know these are the two worst cops on the whole force, because they immediately go, even though it's every other scene from here on out, Tupac's like, man, I think we did a bad thing. First of all, you think. Second of all, it's him going, I think we did a bad thing. And then Belushi like, don't panic. Meanwhile, all they do is panic. And they make these panic solutions for every problem, creating more problems.
Dude, it's like watching the fucking House of Representatives on C-SPAN. It's fucking insane behavior.
Oh, shit.
It is great. Like, how... First off, okay, a DEA agent was undercover. He went to buy the drugs. We shot him. They talk about ballistics multiple times throughout this movie. So if you've never mentioned ballistics, we can just pretend it doesn't exist in this universe, and it's not a thing. They know when they pull the bullet out of the dude's fucking head and match it, it's going to come up from a cop's gun.
Well, here's the
thing.
They take the gun from the evidence room to shoot him, right?
Is that where they got it? It was this other dude's fucking gun?
Yeah, because Mac's dad from Always Sunny in Philadelphia trial for murder, and they get the whole like gun mix up because they took his gun, and then they're like, oh, we can't find the fucking gun in evidence, so he like gets off. But
so they still match it because the gun's been in evidence and they ran ballistics. So my point still stands.
Oh, no.
It would have been there, whether it's a cop's gun or not. That gun has been ran. They'd be like, how did this happen?
What I don't get here is, since they've done this, and they say this in the movie, we've done this 10 times. We've killed 10 drug dealers. We've made 200 grand doing this, like, yada, yada. Okay. One time you're going to have mistakes. On the second attempt, you might have some mistakes. By the third or fourth time, you've kind of cleaned up, like, hey, we can't do this. We can't do this. We can't do this. When they run into the issue with the gun, because now Mac's dad's on trial and we cut to that, right? And they're trying to go, oh shit, like that gun's missing from evidence. That guy needs to go away because he's actually a bad man. So we need to put him away. They go on the street to buy a 45. Again, to your point about ballistics, they go on the street and just buy a 45 and put it into evidence. And the dude's like, oh, that's not my gun. That's another gun. And that's how he gets off. Why didn't you just buy the 45 on the street in the first place? And we're just like, hey, Tupac, we're using this gun for everything. I bought it off of some homeless guy or whatever the fuck that was selling guns. This is the gun we're using. Why wouldn't you do that to start this thing? They don't. So what happens is,
I don't even understand why you need Lela Rochon in the hotel room with you. That makes no sense by itself.
Because I think she gets them from, because she's a stripper, and that's why they show the strip club at the beginning. So she's a stripper and she gets the people from the strip club because that's where the drug dealers hang out, I guess.
Hey, you wanna buy some coke?
you like cocaine, guy?
You happen to be a drug dealer? Cause I got a bag of coke for sale.
Hell yes.
It's so dumb.
No, the whole thing's ridiculous. But what makes me laugh even more is that, like, after this, they find out dude's a DEA agent. And then they go on this like busting spree where they start arresting all kinds of people to try to frame them for the murder. And every single person has a fucking solid alibi for the night the DEA agent was killed. And now they're just fucked.
Yeah, this is basically what's happening in LA right now with ICE. Like, they're just like, I don't know, deport that guy. It's like, dude, I was born in fucking Iowa. What are you talking about?
I'm Norwegian. Get out of here, you Norwegian asshole.
Right? Send him to El Salvador.
But so after leaving Cynthia's, because Cynthia's like, you know what I really like? Disgusting fat white men that are detectives. So I'm going to bang him. So Jim Belushi is leaving her apartment after their intense night of lovemaking. And he sees Dennis Quaid, the homeless guy in the alley, Joe Doe. And he gets the bright idea to plant the gun on this homeless guy and then basically walk him through, drive him to where the shooting happened, tell him what happened, walk him through the whole process, and then fill him full of booze until he believes that he did it.
Yeah, they basically Patty Hearst some rando homeless guy.
And by the way, I'm just going to throw this out there. If you're going to do a twist, spoiler alert for a 1997 movie, if you're going to do like a twist at the end where like the homeless guy's rich, don't use an actor like Dennis Quaid for the homeless guy. Use somebody else.
Yeah, here's what we could do. Think harder about how to get out of this, because this is ridiculous.
Yes.
I mean, it is absolutely insane that now our B plot is fucking Dennis Quaid and the disappearance of the great and brilliant scientist doctor who disappeared. Like, fuck off, dude. He's not Walter White. What are you doing?
The great scientist, doctor, philanthropist.
Yeah, like this is, it's like, and then it just so happens the bum is the Pope.
He's
like,
been lost for 7 years.
The Pope got scared and got drunk for 7 years straight.
Oh my
and
God,
only James Earl Jones can possibly recognize him.
Yes.
So they bring this Joe Doe dude into the station. They have him sign a confession. Divinci then goes to Cynthia, tells her that she has to ID the guy so they can get away with it. And she sees Joe and gets pissed because she knows him, because he's the homeless guy that, like, I don't know, she takes care of or talks to because he lives in the alley by her apartment. And she IDs him and Joe gets put in jail.
She also quickly realizes, because she's been begging this fat slob for a long time, that he's just like, this is trouble, and she knows it. Like, it's not just sign a piece of paper and everything goes away. She knows what's happening.
Yes.
It's very clear what's about to happen. She is going to get royally fucked. And her motivation here later in the movie, so don't understand.
No, I don't understand it either. It's like the whole fucking hooker with a heart of gold kind of thing. And it was like, oh, this homeless guy, and oh, Joe, get out. You get one interaction with her and him, and it's at the very beginning where she gets home and he's drunk laying in the street. She's like, Joe, get out of the street. She basically like kicks him into like the gutter so he's off the street.
Yeah, like, don't get run over, Dennis Quaid. And he's like, I'm pussy. And she's like, no, you wouldn't even feel it, motherfucker. And walks over him. And now they're friends?
Now she loves him.
Now Joe the bum needs to be saved, and you have a conscience. Like, you're murdering drug dealers. What do you care, Omar Little? You're in good shape.
You're murdering drug dealers, lady.
I've been listening to a lot of John Mulaney recently, so I think I picked up his case.
This is the height of luxury.
Things really start to unravel here when the gun they used, which we talked about in the Joe Doe cover-up, was the gun for the other murder case with Mac's dad. So they have to replace that with a gun. So they buy one off the street.
And this is where we also find out Jim Belushi is playing this as a full-on sociopath.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because every
100%.
time something happens, he's like, fucking guy that killed his wife and kids gets... It's a bad day, bro. Like, let's go eat some fucking chili dogs and talk about how I can fuck Lela Rochon, but apparently Tupac can't. Dude, come on. It's so dumb.
Not gonna lie. Talk about lineups and picking dudes out of a lineup. Listen, if Jim Belushi and Tupac were in that lineup, you're banging Tupac every time. Who's picking Jim Belushi?
They did this scene in this movie and Lela Rochon's character a disservice by not showing the scene where she initially got busted by Jim Belushi with the whole bag of coke that they start running this on, and she's basically forced to fuck him, or she goes to jail for possession and intent to distribute. That's the only way this makes sense. And for some reason, they didn't add it because it was going to make Jim Belushi look like a bad guy.
It was going to make Jim Belushi look like a fat slob, which he is.
You can put 1,000 Lela Rochons next to him. He's not fuckable when you have him naked and laying like this.
What if I was?
Listen, from a we'll call it a kindy, like pudgy around the middle guy now, but from a former like big fat guy, when you do this, it stretches all this out, so it makes you look like less of a fat piece of shit. That's why he's laying like that in this scene.
And guess what? He still looks like a fat piece of shit. There's
work.
no way. No way. You're either paying for it or you're blackmailing it. That's the only 100%. Way that's happening.
But we also get Joe Schmo here. He goes to jail. He goes into alcohol withdrawal in jail, and they put him in the hospital to detox. And this is where his lawyer comes in, and he wants to plead guilty because he's like, I did a bad thing, and I'm just a drunkard, and I don't remember, but I remember that. But I don't remember my name. And his lawyer's like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and plead not guilty due to insanity.
Yes, we would like to plead not guilty to the charge of murder at this time for reason of insanity.
But I did it.
It's so, first off, no matter what you're getting ready to do, court-wise, they shave Charlie Manson. They shave you.
Yes.
They want you to look like a normal person. Yes. Especially when you're fucking Dennis Quaid. They're like, yes, bring the all-American white bread quarterback into the goddamn courtroom so everybody can see him and be like, as a jury, I don't think that guy could do it. Look how white and all-American he is. That's what they're going for.
And he doesn't look like a dirty homeless.
No. You don't even have to try on a fucking glove with him. You're out.
You're 100%.
You're safe. No jury's convicting him. Not happening.
But this is also because they cut from this to one of the many fights that Rodriguez and Divinci have, where Rodriguez has this like attack of conscience while having drinks, and it's one of my favorite parts of this because this is the first real like attack of conscience where Tupac is like, I think what we did was wrong.
I think maybe what we did wasn't right.
Now what you did was wrong. Yeah. Not the other 10 times that you did this shit and got away with it.
Here's another scene that's missing from this conversation. Because Belushi, Tupac is really fucked up that they killed the cop. Right?
Yes.
Like, it's totally different now. Like, we fucking killed a cop.
Yeah.
And Belushi keeps going, hey, man, it comes with the job. Line of duty. The next thing out of Tupac character's mouth should have been, when is it going to be my time then with you, Frank?
Yeah.
Like, when am I going to be too much of a liability for you? When you are acting like that about killing another cop, I'm taking notice and I'm putting in a plan in motion to not rat you out. I'm going to kill you.
100%.
Because I know my days are numbered at this point.
You were correct.
And what I do is I get Cynthia to do it because I know she wants to kill him. There's no way she just keeps banging him because of loving things. Like, here's a gun. Go shoot that fat bastard. she, immediately, I don't even think she hesitates.
There's a long list of people in this movie and people we haven't seen in this movie that would happily kill Divinci.
Absolutely.
He sucks.
Well, he does suck. And here's another example of that. So Cynthia goes down to the station in the middle of the night. She freaks out and they call Divinci at home. And she's like, I got a summons to go to court to testify. And she's freaking out. And Joe gets out of bed and they show his wife, or maybe they're estranged. I don't know, but they're trying to work it out. She's like, oh, you think this is how you're going to work on a marriage? He's like, suck a dick. And he puts his pants on and bounces.
I like how, too, this was supposed to be some sort of shocking reveal. Again, this is what makes Divinci bad, is he has a wife. Oh, my God.
Corey's life lessons.
Hey, ladies. Uncle Corey here. if your husband, regardless of how much he loves you, regardless of how good you look, if he has a chance to fuck Lela Rochon, he's taking it. Period. End of discussion. There's no further like he cheats on his wife with a stripper. Does she look like Lela Rochon? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, if she's like a one-legged stripper that works at noon on a Tuesday, okay, you got a point. Don't do that.
But she has such a good personality. She's fucking hilarious, and she gets me.
But if it's Lela Rochon, all bets are off. Sorry.
I can legitimately justify fucking anything.
I know you can.
And have.
I know you can.
I've even married some of those monsters.
But Joe goes to his lawyer here. He says he wants to plead guilty because he needs to be punished. But Cynthia, then immediately after her conversation with Divinci, she skips town. And enter Arthur Baylor, famous attorney. He goes to some random rich guy's house that is just now introduced, shows him the article about Joe Doe, and then goes to Joe's lawyer and sees Joe in prison. And dun dun dun, Joe Doe, the homeless guy, is actually the rich guy's son, and he's philanthropist, doctor. My family got killed, so now I'm a drunk and I just disappeared for 7 years. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm going to admit to doing this crime because I want to be punished. Fuck off.
Well, and we get, when he's in jail, we get the whole like backstory, like, I was cheating on my wife, and then the thing, and that's why I became a drunk, because they got killed in a accident. So
I so don't care.
If I'm his celly, I just go,
Oh my God.
I'm like, Dennis Quaid, shut the fuck up,
Dude. Anything.
Take this sharpened toothbrush to the ribs.
I'm like, do you really want to be punished? Because I can sell you for a pack of Cools right now.
Hell yes.
It's a bidding war at this point. Your asshole is on auction block. Period.
Well, and we get, just in case you missed the first half of this and you just skipped to this part, we get another Tupac blow up with Belushi. And they decide that Cynthia needs to die now. But they find out that Cynthia was picked up by the cops already. And they figure the bail bondsman, Manny, who led them to this whole fucking thing about the cops picking her up, lied. So Belushi just goes and beats the fucking shit out of him, gives him a beatdown.
Corey's life lessons.
Can I do this just real quick? I don't care if you're a cop or a civilian, whatever you think you may be. Hi. Don't go in intending to fuck up a bail bondsman. They will kill you in a minute.
100%.
Probably less. Like, you may think you have it all. They will fucking murder you on sight.
Absolutely. Like, this is the only bail bondsman.
Fuck.
This is the only bail bondsman that doesn't have a weapon in his office. I'm pretty sure every bail bondsman has an arsenal in their office.
Or somebody, they were like, hey man, I put up your bail once.
Yeah.
You were going to work for me.
Yeah.
And you just stand behind me. And no matter who comes in that door, you fucking murk them.
Yeah, instead of Debo working for the gambling guy, he's going to be working for the bail bondsman. He's just going to be standing there like this with his crooked ass eye, like, I dare you to do something.
100%.
He'll rip one of Belushi's legs off and fuck him with it.
He'll be like, stop, Peter Griffin. Let me just throw you out of the fucking door.
This is where we get to court, and James Earl Jones needles Cynthia on the stand until she like cries and admits that she lied about everything, and then she goes to jail for perjury.
Oh, shit.
Well, after we get another heart-to-heart between Divinci and Rodriguez, Divinci thinks Rodriguez is wearing a wire, so he pulls a gun on him, demands that he takes off his shirt, but he puts the gun away and apologizes. And then they get in the car and he finds like the fucking Walkman fucking tape recorder that Tupac's got in his suit. He's like, hey man, what's this? He's like, what man? I need my disc, man. Fuck you. I'm playing this new album by this guy Tupac. Have you ever heard of him? It's the whole soundtrack to this movie.
Dude, okay, this is what I don't understand. Is Tupac just doing this on his own and then he's going to go to the prosecutors? Or has he already made a deal?
I don't know.
Because this plan is super duper flawed. Yeah, because if you did already like go to the prosecutors and you're like, look, I got to get out of this.
Yeah.
They're like, cool. First thing we're going to do is go get Lela Rochon from her apartment and put her in the same productive custody we're going to put you in. We got two of you to testify now. This is a wrap.
Yeah.
He's done. Like, it's over and done with.
Yeah.
So you have that portion. And then if you're just like, I'm just going to record him and then go to the prosecutor with this tape, you're cooked, cousin.
Yeah.
Because you're sharing a cell together.
Yep.
Like, and Lela Rochon's still in the wind.
Yes.
Well, like, you're not helping her much at all. Like, this is so bad on so many different levels.
This is what I don't get, because this whole movie up until this point, you're literally setting up Belushi as a fucking sociopath, right?
Mm-hmm.
Until this point, and then he kind of grows a conscience because he pulls the gun on him. He's like, you're wearing a wire. Why would you say that? And he's like, oh, fuck, my bad. And then they get in the car and he finds the fucking tape recorder, puts the gun to his head, and then he's like, hey, man, get out of the car. I'm sorry. Jim Belushi is murdering that dude in the car at that moment.
I thought he was going to do it outside of the car because he's like, it's going to be harder to clean the car up. This isn't Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Like, we got to get him out of the car so I can back up and then shoot him. And then it seems just like a fucking crime scene.
Yep.
You can make it gang related. But
hey, you said the thing.
I did. So do they. A number of
times.
And you know why? It was to remind you when you woke up halfway through this movie what you were still watching.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is.
But yeah, so I thought he was going to shoot him here. But yeah, he all of a sudden he's just like, not you, you're my brother. Bitch, please.
Exactly.
You are in such panic mode at this point. You are killing everybody, and you're still trying to cover it up. You're going to still blame this on Joe.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, you don't even understand. When you shaved him, he was able to slip through the bars, get out of prison, shoot my partner and Lela Rochon, and then get back into the prison.
Absolutely.
Just craziness.
Check the ballistics. Whatever that means.
Has anybody even looked into the space-time continuum yet? Because I'm pretty sure it's warped around Joe.
But this okay. Again, if you're still interested up to this point in the movie and you haven't fallen asleep or walked away like this is fucking ridiculous. This is what might break you. Because Rodriguez, after getting kicked out and not killed out of Divinci's car, he goes back to his apartment where he finds Vic there to collect on the 20 grand or whatever that he owes. He attacks Vic, he gets killed, and the cops think it's Divinci. This
All
whole
accurate.
plot, I understand the plot, like, as far as setting up the characters. Tupac is like he's a good cop. He's got a gambling problem. He needs to cover his gambling debts. Divinci is just like kind of a piece of shit the whole movie. There's no motive for him to do any of this outside of the fact that he wants to buy a boat and like sail to the Bahamas. Like that's his only motivation for anything.
Hawaii.
Whatever, dude. Hawaii, Bahamas. I only
He thinks about Hawaii while he's here, so he doesn't have to think about being there.
Therefore, I think about it so as not to get depressed about being here.
I only watched half of this movie, okay?
And then Tupac's like, what do you mean? It's like Tupac's a Make-A-Wish cop. I'm going to be honest with you. He is so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he play. I'm like, I can't get around Tupac playing a cop. And it's like, no, he's playing one of the dumbest cops on the planet. This movie could have parenthetically been titled Gang Related. Cops are dumb as dog shit. You can get away with anything. I went and committed 3 crimes after watching this.
Yeah.
Not even lying to you.
And they finally get Cynthia to flip on Divinci. And Joe Doe gets found not guilty. He's freed. And then it just cuts to 4 months later, randomly. Divinci shows up at Cynthia's apartment. He shoots her, but she isn't dead, though. And she gets taken to the hospital where fucking Dennis Quaid is the goddamn surgeon. Come on, man. We're right. We're writing this into the script. This is what we're doing now.
This is shockingly stupid for a number of reasons.
That's what this movie should have been called. Shockingly stupid.
I don't even really know where to begin with this or even go with this. Like, he comes back. So he's been on the lam in the same town. And his disguise is a Vietnam jacket he borrowed off of John Rambo. And
we'll have to ask John Rambo about that when he comes back.
Yeah, for sure. That explains why he wasn't wearing it when I interviewed him.
It's fair.
But so he borrows that and he grows a beard. And
Yes.
everybody's like, dude, we fucking can't find Divinci
Well,
anywhere.
listen, we all know if you grow a beard and wear a homeless man's jacket, nobody knows who the fuck you are.
See Joe.
See Joe.
Fair enough. And then he goes to Lela Rochon's house and he's like, I need fucking money.
I don't know what to ask for. Money would be nice.
Sure. You take the money and then you're like, by the way, P.S. I may rape you now.
Dude,
What?
listen.
And then you, no, I must finish this thought.
I guess you have the floor.
And then you take a pillow and put it over her head and you shoot her in the clavicle? Do you have Parkinson's disease now?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Did you add this to your character for no? What the fuck happened?
Listen, you shot the DEA agent in the head. I'm assuming you shot all of the gang-related drug dealers in the head. You're a cop, okay? How many times have you seen somebody get shot in the leg, the arm, in the chest somewhere, and they survive? But again, to your point, pillow or no pillow, it's a double tap between the eyes, and we're out of here.
Hell yes.
She doesn't have a face, by the way. Okay, if this he put the pillow over her face, and he went
He had a stroke mid pulling the trigger and then walked out of the house. Like he was like, I had to do it, but I loved her, man. Like, fuck off, dude. This is so beyond dumb. And then just having to be Joe, be the one that's like,
dude,
I'm a doctor now. Bitch, it's been 4 months.
dude.
That's insane. They're like, oh, Joe went to fucking Tucson, Arizona and got recovered.
You were correct.
Oh, if that's not bad enough, the movie ends with Divinci going back to Manny, the bail bondsman, to ask him for another favor. And the bail bondsman, doesn't shoot him or choke him out or whatever. Divinci asks him for a car to get out of town. Manny obliges. Divinci gets in the car and is killed by Mac's dad from the earlier case that got freed because of the evidence gun mishap thing. Yep. Again, this is a script. This is what we're putting. Listen, I love twists and turns, and M. Night Shyamalan, you are not, my friend. These twists and turns in this movie are for apparently no motherfucking reason. Okay.
No. This is Dirty Cops meets the Butterfly Effect. Like, literally, this is so dumb. And my whole thing through this, normally when you have an anti-hero, right?
Yeah.
Being the star of your movie, but he's a dirty cop.
Yeah.
They have to be likable.
You have to have some redeeming qualities. Yeah.
Take Nick Cage in Snake Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He's annoying, but he's charming. He's so over the top with his annoyance that he's still charming, right?
Yeah.
In this, you don't have that. Jim Belushi is not I'll go one further. The movie Taking Care of Business, starring Jim Belushi.
Yes.
That's a fun movie to watch because he's a con man. He's a bad guy, but he's charming.
Yeah.
And you want to root for him because he's better than the people he's going up against.
Yes.
There's no one to root for in this movie. No one. You're not rooting for them to get away with this. You're not rooting for Rodriguez to turn around and have his conscience get the better of him.
Yeah.
Like, none of that happens here.
Yeah. Well, the only character that you would root for is maybe Lela Rochon.
But you can't even do that because when she has the chance to get out of it, she's clearly busted. She has the opportunity. Joe is this different person. He's, not the guy that did it. And that's when you put your you draw a line in the sand and you're like, I'm not a fucking snitch though. Bitch, they're gonna kill you.
Yes.
You already had a problem when you thought he was a bum. Now you find out he's fucking Alan Rockefeller and you're like, nah, fuck you, Popo. I ain't trading. What?
Yeah.
It makes no sense what she does. Nobody's motivation makes no sense. Yeah. And again, even in The Sopranos, in The Wire, when you're talking about Omar killing drug dealers, these anti-heroes have to have something about them that you're rooting for. You like that Hannibal Lecter gets away at the end of Silence of the Lambs and he goes to eat Chilton because Chilton's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You like that. And it's going to be a horrible death for him and he's literally going to be consumed by another person. And you're like, fucking awesome. This you don't care.
No. And at the end, again, Belushi gets killed by the guy who everybody, the prosecutors, the dirty cops, everybody talks about is this guy being a fucking animal. And if he gets off, he's just going to kill more people.
Yeah.
And then that guy drives away at the end like, that's the end.
He's going to sodomize Eduardo Sanchez in front of Charlie's mom. It's going to happen.
Again, I remember this movie. I saw this movie once, maybe twice in the past. I don't remember this movie being this ridiculous. I think I was just so enamored with Tupac at the time that I was like, oh shit, Tupac in a fucking movie. Let's go watch it. And I love Tupac as an actor. I always have. I always thought every single fucking movie he's in, dude's a professional.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else, he shows up on set, he fucking does his thing and he's out the door.
Yep.
With this, he still does. He's the best actor in this fucking movie. Outside of Gary Cole, I gotta give.
Lela Rochon did her thing.
Well, yeah, I got to give Gary Cole his props. I got to give Lumbergh his props.
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow.
But like, I forgot how fucking ridiculous every turn in this movie was, and every time I was like, "Oh, we're done." Nope. And then another scene comes up, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, there's just
it is what it is.
There's a lot missing. I want to say, like, if you replace Jim Belushi, maybe you could get away with some of the ridiculousness. But
I don't think so.
And I think even if you could get somebody interested that was better than Jim Belushi, they read the script and be like, no, I'm not doing this because I'm not fucking Jim Belushi.
Yes.
Like, it's a disservice to Tupac. Because Lela Rochon, like, I love her to death. She's been in some dog shit movies before.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's a disservice to her, even though she deserves way more respect than she gets in the acting world. But this was a disservice to Tupac, and really, like, what could have been a good role? Like, you could have seen him in cop movies, playing a detective, and, you know, like, actually being a good cop, fighting bad cops, and being that guy, or even being the anti-hero like Snake Eyes. I could see Tupac playing that Snake Eyes role. Way more toned down than Nicolas Cage, obviously, because everybody on Earth is. But, like, those are the roles he could have had.
Mm-hmm.
And this was just not it. Like, this made me want to go watch a fucking Steven Seagal DMX-driven vehicle. Like, it's bad.
It is. This one is not great. This is not a good movie. Yeah, I got nothing else. This was not awesome. I'm glad it was for free on Amazon.
Yeah, 100%. And there's a reason it's free. It's just it's bad. They're meeting some sort of quota with this. I don't know if it's the annual get Jim Belushi revenue.
If there
charity drive.
If there's one positive thing I could say about this movie, was the soundtrack was pretty cool. Because it was mainly Tupac driven. So
yeah, which really took me out of some scenes, because this motherfucker's walking into scenes where his music is playing.
Yes.
And it's like, is he moonlighting as a rapper? Like, is this The Hard Way starring James Woods and Michael J. Fox, where he's just like, I got to learn how to act like a cop?
Yes.
It was really weird. It fucked me up.
I personally enjoyed it, but that's the only good thing about this movie. Some of the songs that came up, I was like, oh yeah, this is a good jam.
I'm never going to be mad when I get a chance to hear How Do You Want It?
We'll end it there, because I'm right there with you.
I'm hitting switches on bitches.
But for Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 1997's Gang Related.
Up and down like a roller coaster.